Loki, welcome back to another session. So, for today's demo, we will see how to identify the elements for the button type of elements. So, I have taken the example demo QA buttons page. As you see on this page, we have three buttons: double click me, right click, and click. As we all know, our first step is to identify the element so we can be calling those locators in our page file. So let's try to identify the elements for double click me, right click, inspect, and as you all know, an element can have n number of attributes like ID, name, data test ID. We should always prefer the stable attributes. So our ID is one of the stable attributes. So here for double click me, you have the ID, which is your double click button. So let me switch back to my page file. I'll show you the how do you call that particular ID in our page file. As you all know, like the first four lines are kind of a template. I have mentioned the class and your class name, and you're initializing the constructor and you're calling your page, and then you're performing the element. So which method you're calling here? Your double click me is that's your element, and what is the locator for? What's an element for that? It's double click button. Next we need to call right click button. So in order to do that, you need to identify the elements for right click. So for right click, let's try to figure out. So your ID is right click button for the right click me. So as you see on the script, you can see I'm calling the particular element for the right click me. So it's self dot right click me, which is a parameter, and then I'm calling the element. And moving with the next button, we have here click me. So let's try to find out the element for click me. For click me, if you notice here, the ID is something written in kind of a like Z8 thing. So it means I don't when we inspect, you notice that it doesn't have a reliable ID. Sometimes these IDs generate dynamically, meaning they change every time when the page is refreshed. For example, this is not a good approach to use this ID. So in this situation, how do you identify the button? So when a user doesn't know an HTML ID, they simply recognize it as a button and the visible text, which is click me. So now we so far we were using locator. So now what we are going to do is we are going to get by role. So what is the role of this particular thing? It's a button. And what's the name of the button? Click me. So whatever you see on the UI, so you're mentioning the same. So you can see here it's a button type. It's a button and the visible name is click me. That's the reason instead of locator I'm mentioning the method page get by role, and I have mentioned here click me, which helps you to identify the elements. So when an element has a stable identifier, you use ID. When it is not stable, then we use page dot get by role. And let's move with our, and we all know like we have, let's go to our test demo buttons page. You're calling your page file in your test scripts, and then you have your test script name, and then we will run using our test script. So let's start running this by your test script, which is test demo buttons dot py. Let's run and see how that works. So you can see the particular messages that's being displayed after performing each and every action. So we have performed all the three actions, and then our test script has been successfully passed. Thank you. Let's catch up with the next session.